Good evening, good evening, good evening. Once again, folks, thank you for joining us on this great Tuesday evening at 6, well, shortly after 6. We're glad to have you here with us on Let's Talk. I'm your host, Jason, with my co-host for this evening.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Miss Yaz.
This is your girl, Yams. What's going on?
Miss Yamis. I'll call her by a government name because Yams is for the other show. Miss Yamis. We have Miss Yamis tonight. Of course, you can see that's not Cheryl. So I think Miss Yamis won't beat me as bad as Cheryl because Cheryl been getting a little radical and a little violent these past couple of shows. I
ain't getting in that.
So Yamis says she will not condone nor will she promote that. So tonight I can be safe.
Hopefully. It depends on what he says. It all depends on that. But I will do my best to fill the big shoes Cheryl has left in terms of her personality, what she has brought in terms of her presence, opinion, and her combating some of your very hard opinions. But we'll see how it goes.
Okay,
we'll see how it goes.
So this is Let's Talk. And here at Let's Talk, we like to talk about issues that matter to you. We try to come up with workable and practical solutions so we have more action and less talk. So tonight, we'll be talking about expectations. Our expectations in life and the various aspects of life. Are they based in reality or fantasy? Because some of us got some real far-fetched expectations from our jobs, our children, our relationships, from the government. I mean, just on the whole, we just expect a whole. Sometimes it ain't seem right. We living in a fantasy world sometimes. Sometimes.
But sometimes our expectations just be too low. Sometimes we allow the way something has been done for such a long period of time to be like, oh, that's just the way it is, when we've progressed not only as a country but as a race in terms of humanity, where other countries are. Why can't we be at least halfway there?
Right.
So I hope we touch on all of that.
We can touch on all of that. We can touch on all of that.
Yes, good.
Because we all about solutions, We ain't just talk about things with juicy.
Yeah. We can touch on everything.
We can try uplift and enlighten. Try
Definitely.
to bring some light on some subjects.
Definitely.
So I like how you say some of our expectations are so low. And the minute you said that, my mind went on one topic.
Which is that?
Politics.
I love it.
Politics.
I love
our
it.
expectations are so low. We just, listen, we allow them to get away with so much.
Too much.
Because, like you said, it's been done that way for so long. Till we just allow them to just do anything and get away with anything.
Yeah. I agree. And the crazy part about it is, and the very uncomfortable thing sometimes, especially as people like me, yourself, Cheryl, who are very vocal when it comes to our opinions, sometimes when it comes to politics and government, you feel fearful about expressing how you feel. But when you know, like, that's what majority of us feel.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying nothing that all of us don't know
exactly.
to be the problem
exactly.
or to be the thing that we need to talk about. The first thing I could go to without pointing to any particular person or party is the delay when it comes to government repayment. Like, we can talk about that straight off the gate. And even especially being a young entrepreneur, and like I have young entrepreneurs who try to get government contracts, or on their first one, they say, man, they take, I won't even say how long, quote unquote long, to pay me.
Months.
And then people will be like, oh, well, that's government. You gotta expect that.
Yes.
That's not a good look.
No. And payment, not just payment, service.
Payment, delivery on products.
Yep. It's like, if somebody here you work for government, they automatically think you don't work.
Right.
They automatically, you got an easy job. You just lay back. You go in a government office, they're expecting that the workers to just be on their phone or just not be present. They're expecting them to be rude or just neglectful or just totally in their own, serving you on their own time. We expect that.
Right. And that's deplorable. And that's the one thing on the sad part of it, if you really think about it, I've never heard any political party really address.
No.
They have never tried to say like, oh no, we can make sure that payments go out on time.
That
We can
customer
make
service
sure
can improve.
that customer service when you come in, that's not a topic they ever
touch. No one touch.
No one.
And
If you really think about it.
And it's truth. You're speaking truth. And me who talk about everything, I might complain about it, but I didn't say shine the light on it to try to get somebody to do something better. You know why? Because I've come to expect it and I've settled for it.
Settled for it. That's
so
the word.
sad.
That's the
so
word.
sad.
And that is, like you said, that's really sad in terms of as a nation, the way we present ourselves. Because a lot of times we say, even when it comes to the tourist market or tourism, it's like, no, this customer service bad. And this how y'all don't treat the tourists like this.
Right.
This how y'all treat us.
Right.
And it's like, but then y'all know how this is. y'all know what to expect.
Yeah.
Y'all know this the way the movie is be cut.
Yeah,
Like why you
yeah.
you know how this show go. This a
Yeah,
rerun.
man.
This ain't a
That's
new
it.
script.
This ain't no new script. No.
Different
This is part
producer,
two,
same
part three,
script.
sequel.
Yeah,
It's just a sequel treatment.
and that's just the way it is. And
Yeah.
like when we talk about it, and as I only use this one topic, as like let it be as broad as possible because there are some expectations when we start to like break it down because government is very broad.
Yes.
That's something that affects everybody.
Yes.
So when we talk about it from an education, religion, we start to break it down a lot more. But when we talk about it on that big blanket, as a nation, we have come to allow certain things to be the norm.
Yes.
That really shouldn't.
Shouldn't.
When you talk about like people in the U.S., when you talk about getting even your U.S. visa, how quick is that process
Everything-
compared to getting your passport?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Oh my gosh.
Look at the contradiction.
You go online and you fill out pop. They tell you set up a certain date, time. You be there. Boom. You know.
Your appointment on time.
That's it.
Matter of fact, if you early, they like that.
Exactly.
They'll
right?
take you early.
But not us.
No, sir.
When
If you
reach,
early,
when
they
you
mad.
reach.
I
That's right,
mad you
suck their
outside
teeth.
in line.
That's right.
Like, why you
They
why
suck
y'all
their
on this
teeth.
line?
What you doing here so early?
Right.
Huh? Y'all ain't got nothing else better to do? They come bother me on the job?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
And
Oh,
and
that's
it's
so sad.
it's scary and the thing about it is like sometimes that trickles down, but then in other ways it doesn't. In other ways it doesn't. Like we expect a little on their end, but then on our end we expect so much.
So much.
We expect our men, our women, our teachers, our nurses to do so much when on the government end
We just give them a blight.
we give them a
We slap them,
blight.
we give them a spank on the wrist. They do any manner of things, and we just let it be. Don't
Like,
touch my.
that's just
don't
the
touch
way
my,
it is,
don't touch my-
gal. You got to be all right with that.
Don't touch my minister. Don't touch my politician. No, that's my MP.
Right.
That's my good MP.
That's my good MP.
When you think school gonna open, you think they can finish with the school contract on time? You think this can be the year when they finish renovating or doing repairs to the school before school open? You think this can be the year?
I can't touch on that topic. That ain't my corn to mash. I ain't in that industry. And that's not who I voted. That's not my MP. That's not my jurisdiction.
Uh-huh.
So I
You stay in
think
your corner.
things that are above me that I can't change. I
Listen,
try not to touch
But
on.
we allow them to get away with it. And
Yeah,
like you
even my
said-
response shows that I allow it.
Yes.
So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You
I was
crushed that.
trained.
Hey, you curved that.
Yeah.
You curved me on that.
that was nature. That wasn't even nurture. That was natural for me. That was
Wow,
natural
wow.
for me to curve
Caught
that
live
question.
on camera, eh?
On camera.
Shame.
Right.
So the government is just one area that we expect us, but that's low expectations. But tell me if you know of another area that we feel, I think it's like fantasy, where you think, from your opinion, where expectations seem to be unreal.
I believe when it comes to our service industry sometimes, especially products, our expectations are a bit skewed. Products and services, especially locally in the Bahamas. And not to bash or put a minish on our entrepreneurs, big up to my entrepreneurs, I was
up,
one
big up.
too. But a lot of times our expectations when it comes to services and products are very limited
Right.
and are very skewed and are very not realistic and in fantasy. And I got this. I won't even pin her name because she's my girl, but I won't pin her name yet. I can spin it later. But she told me a lot of times Bahamians have champagne taste, but bare money.
Champagne taste, but bare money.
Yeah, especially when it comes to what they want in terms of a service, whether it's marketing, promotion, videography, audio, the things that they want and the way they want their products and services to look. You have these big wants, but you don't have the money to really back
So
it.
you want a baller?
Right. You want to look like that girl who have a million viewers, but you know how much that costs, especially from someone living in the Bahamas who have to buy it on third world money, because you have to remember that U.S. conversion rate and that BS conversion rate. You got to take that into consideration.
That's a real thing.
And then I got to import them products.
Correct.
I got to pay for them things that you
Correct.
need. Then I got to pay for power. I got to pay all these things. You don't take that into consideration. So Bahamians too, sometimes when it comes to, especially the service industry and the product industry, they want pay when they already get the service. No.
No. See, and you correct. We compare ourselves to people, like populations of millions of people.
Right. Love how you
Grand
mentioned that.
Bahama has like what, 50, 60,000 people? New Providence may have 300,000, the
Right.
rest spread over the rest. And we compare ourselves. We want to compare our products. Mind you, we have top-notch products.
Yeah, we do.
But
do.
we hold them on the shelves next to the Walmarts, you know, with billion and trillion dollar industries. And they be like, oh, why ours ain't like that? Why? Come on, man. You gotta have a little bit of reality. We ain't pushing that kind of, we don't have that kind of population, and we ain't have that kind of money. So you gotta have a little reality. Bring your expectations down a little bit. We still giving you top-notch products,
Yes.
but it ain't gonna be incomparable yet
Yes.
to that, because we moving up to that standard.
Yes.
So yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, because even a lot of times when it comes to sales, and this is why I love a lot of the programs like SBDC and things they're doing at UB in terms of helping entrepreneurs and helping them get ahead. But a lot of times, even though they give in good research, you also have so much of that U.S. influence
Yes.
where they ain't really thinking realistically. And they ain't thinking really in terms of numbers. That's why I like, because for me personally, a lot of people don't know this, but I have a psychology degree. Like that was my bachelor. Yeah, no, in terms of I have a bachelor's degree in psychology and it's based in research. So I understand the importance of having real research and real numbers. We don't have real research and real numbers when it comes to what people spend
Right.
here in the Bahamas
Right.
and on the different islands, because Nassau is a completely different
Oh, that's a
beast,
beast. That's a
from
different
Freeport.
beast. That's different.
And then it's different in Bimini, different
Yeah.
in Andros, different
Every
in
island is
Abaco.
different.
Every island is very different. And you can't want to take one sales pitch or one sales model or strategy and think
Right.
it's going to work on all of our
Right.
islands.
Correct.
That's one of the beauties of the Bahamas, but that's also one of the challenges
Yes.
we have when it comes to making money and
Yes.
being prosperous as a business across the entire archipelago.
Yes, yes.
It's not very easy. A lot of businesses can't do it. The only ones who can is when it's liquor
Yeah,
or
oh, yeah.
partying.
Oh yeah, you know that.
Liquor,
Anything to do with
partying, and food.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Trust
but
me.
when it comes to like phone service, when you get really down and technical on what people need on their day to day, it gets very difficult. You can't want to do the exact same thing on every single island. And some of our major corporations are seeing that.
Yeah.
And they're feeling that. Like you can't want to have the same sales pitch you
Right.
have in Nassau,
No,
in
it
Freeport.
ain't gonna work.
It won't work.
No.
Like I don't need it for my business, my house, and my phone because I ain't got no business.
Right.
And I ain't got no house phone. I ain't got no internet on my.
Right.
I ain't have no cable home. I only got Netflix and I got my cell phone, so I don't need no
Right.
bundle.
Right.
So it's like,
You gotta tailor make your fit.
yeah.
Tailor make.
So because of that, it makes it difficult when it comes to, like you said, expectations.
Right.
Because you were successful in Nassau, you won't be the same success in Freeport, and it's vice versa.
Vice versa.
So,
different
but-
crowd and different islands have different mindsets.
right.
Different cultures. We might be the same Bahamian culture, but
Right.
that's so many different
Subcultures.
variants. Right. So you gotta tailor make.
Yeah.
Sit down and do your. You then said we don't have the data. Research
No,
data.
we
but
don't
somebody
have the
gotta do it. Well,
research.
maybe some that's not marketing for somebody.
That is a market.
For
That's a
somebody to go
huge
there,
market.
Because you collect the data on each island, now you could go and sell that data.
It's like, but I got the numbers.
That's
I
right.
got the statistics.
That's right.
I done been doing it. People know I been doing it. They know me as the, oh yeah, that's the Bayous. I'll answer the questions. That's the
Correct.
gal who's coming make you feel outside.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
that's a market in
It
and of
is.
itself.
It is.
The
It is.
government
It
would
is.
buy something
Yes,
like that.
it is.
And like we talking about this conversation of expectations, a lot of people don't know the expectations on different islands because it's so expensive to even travel
gosh.
to these different islands to experience it. But as someone who has done it, I know like a regatta in Exuma is nothing like a regatta nowhere else. And then Crab Fest in Andros.
Yeah, something
You
completely
ain't gonna get
different,
that.
right?
I don't care if no one else call it Crab Fest. If,
It ain't
unless
gonna
it's Andros Crab Fest.
It ain't the same.
It ain't
the
gonna
same.
never be an Andros
It's
Crab
just
Fest.
like Gombe. I mean,
They try
I
to
think
do it. You can't do it.
I think it's
can't.
the only island that's really been successful at
Mastered
Gombe.
it.
Yeah.
Mastered it.
So we're talking about expectations and life, fantasy versus reality. We'll be right back, so stick around, guys.
Yo, what's up, Bahamas? My name is Andrew Williams, aka Cat,
And I'm your boy Mix.
and we're representing Off the Bench, the number one talk sportcast in the Bahamas.
In the world, my boy.
My bad partner. So
Yeah.
we cover anything sports throughout the Bahamas. We cover our Bahamian athletes wherever they are, and they're making waves in sports. We cover them.
Hey, just tune in to us every Wednesday here on Superior Talk at 6 o'clock p.m.
The number one talk show in the world.
The world, Craig.
So welcome back to Let's Talk. Guys, we will be happy to have you join us in on this conversation. 352-8255, 352-8255, or just drop a comment in the chat on YouTube and we'll read it live and maybe even engage you in it. So we're talking about expectations in life, fantasy versus reality. We touched on the government them, and then their sales and products, just being real. For the government, we came to the conclusion that maybe we have our expectations too low.
Too low.
And then when it comes to us and our local product, we probably have them expectations too high because we comparing it to markets with trillions and billions of dollars.
Yes.
So you really can't do that, So we're taking this conversation even further. So now let's take it and bring it a little bit more personal.
Right. Okay.
Relationships.
My Lord.
Relationships.
Uh-huh.
Expectations in relationships.
Yeah.
Let's see how we can word this
Yeah.
without
This can
pointing fingers,
get
right?
touchy. And my sleeves roll up, so I'm ready for you.
So
Let's go.
we know when both genders come into the relationship building.
Yes.
Everybody has their preconceived notions, their own prerequisites and
Non-negotiables.
standards. And that's right, non-negotiables.
Yes.
Now, do you feel we are too high, too low? And this first we can just make a general statement, and then we can
Okay.
go specific. Too high, too low when it comes to relationship. Do you think? Because see, me and you in two different generations
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
right?
we in
so
two
your
different
generation,
generations.
You tell me your generation.
And
tell me how you all
listen,
feel.
this generation is a struggle.
All right, all right.
This is a struggle. It's a struggle. Lord, this is a struggle. But I even feel like all generations, or even it starts off almost fairy tale like. And that's the real thing about it. Everybody starts off in this fairy tale of, we can date, you can be my high school sweetheart, and then you're in love, your first love, then the bubbles get burst. Then everybody's want to play hard man or hard woman, like, all right, I can just, love is dead. We can just do what I want to, be on the road, be that's the generation I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Be mad, be upset, work through your feelings by being vicious, being unwavering, being this what I want, my way or the highway. And then after a certain amount of time, certain amount of mistakes, you end up curving back to, all right, I
You
little
want love
lonely.
again.
I little lonely. This road little hard. I need something.
Only so much time you can count them dots on the
no
ceiling.
one's a hug when I home. These children in their own bed now. I ain't got my children next to me. So now we want love, we want connection, and not even just. I only talking about the extreme, but I feel like really and truly a lot of times, especially when it comes to relationships, a lot of people start off with such high expectations, and because they get hurt or because things don't go the way they want to, they allow that to either harden them, and that sometimes cause their expectation to shoot too high,
Right.
or it causes expectations to go too
Very
low.
low, very settle for anything.
Yeah.
Say once they breeding.
Yeah, it ain't,
Once
yeah,
they
like
breeding,
one, like
they
boy,
got a pulse.
you
got a
alive?
pulse? You got a pulse?
I
Okay,
just need
you
someone to
good.
die with me. just be willing to die with me. That's all. And that's all I want at that point.
Yeah.
You know?
So and then when they're looking for that person, they're looking for a certain type, right?
Right.
And they want, and I say in they because I trying to be
No,
nice. Right?
okay. I said day a lot, and then we can get to not the day, and we can start being specific. But
Right.
go with your day.
So
Day.
they come in and they look and they want a specific person, but then they are complete opposite of what they want. Now that ain't right. That ain't right. I don't think that's right.
What you mean that ain't right?
That ain't right,
When
Lord.
someone
It
shows
ain't right.
you who they are, believe them. You could believe someone is something, but until they show you, and that's something like honestly I had to learn the hard way. Someone could tell you with their mouth what they think they are. Crazy thing is, me and my brother was talking about this today, and he said, "Who do you think people lie to the most?" My brother a lot like my daddy. They speak in parables. You know, they just ask you questions and they already know the answer.
No, the answer. That's right.
He is like, "Oh, who do you think people is lied to the most?" My first answer was the doctor. Then I say, "You know what people is lied to? They self more than anyone." He's like, "That's the answer right there."
Right there.
People
Right there.
people lie to themselves, women, men, but I think for the most part, women. A lot of, and I even can say that about myself. A lot of times we lie to ourselves and we tell ourselves what we want when you know you ain't ready for that.
No.
You ain't ready for a man with that type of pressure. The type of man you want, the type of pressure you can put on you, you ain't ready for that.
You ain't ready for that.
You ain't ready for that type of man. That type of man who could pay all the bills, handle everything. He can expect you
exactly. Come in
to
with standards.
do. Listen,
Come in with
I
standards.
had one of them when I was in college. The things that man wanted me to do, I ain't saying him no iron in your uniform.
No.
You crazy?
No, right. You
I'm
ain't ready for
20.
that. Yeah.
I want to be outside.
Outside
Yeah,
the
you
streets.
paying the bills.
The streets
and-
calling.
Yeah, you can
Let
pay
the
the
road
bills
hot.
and give me money and but I
No.
iron.
I submit to
I
who?
don't even iron. My daddy sent my clothes to the cleaners.
Oh,
What we
look here.
talking about? You want me
Uh-huh.
iron?
Stop
Iron.
that. Who you think you're a slave? What?
You know, and
Huh?
it's understandable, and that's okay, and that's the part of it people don't get to in the conversation.
Right.
That's okay. It's okay that you
You
don't
don't
want to do
that.
those
You don't have
things.
to do it.
Ain't no one telling you you have to.
Right.
But the type of man you want, that's what he
Exactly.
want.
You know, I was talking to a good friend. I'm not going to call any names, but once I say it, they'll know what I'm talking about. And he say plenty good woman out there. I say, good well. Plenty y'all calling yourself good and ain't know what good is. They good according to their own standard.
Uh-huh.
You know, who tell them they good?
Right.
Good for what though? They
Good for
They're
who?
Good, they're good for something. And good for who? So that's what. And like you said, we lie to ourselves. We lie and saying we good. But who? What measuring stick? What you measuring yourself against
Right.
to say you good? You understand? You measure yourself against Jeffrey Dahmer. Oh yeah, you good. You good. You know.
But then, even looking at it from the men's standpoint, sometimes some men feel like because they can handle everything financially, that the other things that matter in a relationship, like by handling all of this, these other things shouldn't even matter.
Yeah,
Like, what
yeah.
you worrying about me romancing you or calling you, like, boy, I paying it. Sometimes
Yes,
that
you're right.
ain't enough.
You're right. You're right.
Especially for a woman who could pay for things herself.
You're right.
If you have a woman who making money, who making almost as much money as you or more than you, but you as the man, she letting you fulfill that role because that's
Right.
the role you say as the man
Exactly.
you want to fulfill.
Exactly.
But her as a woman, she there like,
Bro,
I
was
only
doing this
letting
before
you do that because this your role.
I was doing it before
need,
you reached,
right. I
so
need you to do.
Something else. I want something else. Which you
I
can't. But
need
can't
the
do for myself.
romance.
Right.
I need the flowers. I want the
Right.
dates. I want the spontaneous. Come to the office, baby. I taking you to lunch. Or you know what? Tell them you off for the rest of the day. I can pay you for the date. Tell them
Now,
you sick.
that's great, Yams, and like you say, you want what you want. You could want what you
Right.
want,
You could want what you want.
but on the back side of that coming with something else.
Yes.
And you have
It
to
does.
bring something else because that requires something else. But you have a lot of us, and I just to be fair,
Yes.
I can say you have some men out there. They want the woman to cook, clean, cater to them. You know, call them the man of the house, but yet he want to go pay half the bills. I don't get.
Houseway.
I don't get that. You know, he want to come home and cater to him. Mm-hmm. Bro, he ain't probably work since I don't even know when.
Dorian.
Yeah, yeah.
Ain't work since
say,
Dorian.
Say if he dream he was working, he gonna wake up.
Yeah.
Cause he ain't working.
And wake up sweating
Yeah,
too.
yeah. That was a nightmare. But yet, he wanted the woman to respect him and call him the man of the house and cook and clean for him and serve his plate. But he ain't fulfilling his role.
Right.
You know, that's fantasy. That fella in fantasy. Now, you got women on the other hand.
On the same, not even on the, right
Wait,
there.
You know,
Fantasy.
because
Can't
she's
cook.
saying, oh yeah.
Let's have the conversation. Can't cook.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing will make it even crazier at this standpoint. I think the last time I was on there, talk about like saying I don't know is not an excuse. It's too much TikTok video.
Oh, come on.
And
YouTube
Facebook
Academy-
and
YouTube
YouTube
Academy.
University.
Oh, come on.
Where you can say, no, you know, I can't cook.
If you dumb in this day and age, that's because you choose to be
yeah.
dumb.
It's too much air fryer
I'm telling you.
and things where
That's
like
right.
you could have a meal
Parboil,
ready in
parboil, I'm
40
telling you.
minutes or less.
Every day.
And I talking about the rice, the meat,
and
the
the side.
side, all of that.
Two meats.
Easy to clean.
Yeah.
Ain't no bunch of dishes.
Yeah.
I wish these things was out when I was younger. I wouldn't have as much dishes.
And even if you ain't
The
one
air
of the dishes,
fryer,
they
mud though.
got plastic plate and sanitary plate. They're so cheap.
At this point in this day and age, like it's like when it comes to like expectations, like certain things like technology and innovation and the spread of information has made it so easy to meet expectations of other people or to do things and to measure up to what someone wants. But a lot of times relationships and certain things fail because you can't maintain it because your heart wasn't in it. You was only doing it because you was trying to get something
Yeah.
or get
What is in it
someone.
for you? That-
Yeah.
trying to look a
And then
certain
after
way.
a little amount of time or a little while, it's like, boy, I really don't want to be cleaning house every day, you know. I thought we can get to the point where we could hire a maid.
Yeah.
But then your husband there like, hire a maid for what? You don't
What you
work.
doing? Exactly.
You stay at home. What you mean hire a maid? It's like because we could afford it. No. See, I grew up the way I grew up with my parents. My parents was never broke. I can be honest. My parents was never broke. We never needed for nothing. Thanks be to God. That's a blessing
That's it.
in and of
All
itself.
praise the Almighty.
But my parents always taught me like not to be frivolous when it comes to money.
That's right.
And not to just spend it because we have it and because we could afford
Right.
it. Sometimes certain things can happen. Someone may get sick. Someone might get hurt. May have to help an extended family.
That's
Certain
right.
things may happen in
That's
life.
right.
But you so focus on your selfishness and your need to like,
Listen.
boy, I won't have to do this.
Listen.
And I could afford to not
Talk
do
it.
it. So
Talk
let
it.
me, when it's like, you ain't need that. You know you didn't need that. You know you could have been all right with that. You know how to braid your own hair.
Listen, I
You know
love it
how to
myself.
shape
I
up
love it
yourself.
myself. I love it myself.
No,
Let
you
YOLO,
can't
only
love
live once
yourself
and
every
thing,
day.
man.
No,
No, man. I work hard for this. I deserve a
Gluttony,
treat.
gluttony and
Yeah.
excess is a sin.
Sin, big time sin, but we don't like to talk
We
about
don't
that.
like to talk about it, especially. And I ain't gonna. People can get mad at me about this, but after spending extensive time on other islands and around people on different islands, I have to say, Freeburg people are one of the prominent islands where excess
Oh, yeah.
is our way of life.
Oh, yeah.
We will spend on ourselves.
Man, we have it, we can spend it.
We can even
find
if
it
we can find it.
to spend.
I can
I'm telling you.
borrow it to
I can-
ball.
I can tell.
I'm
I
borrowing
can
it
tell you
because
that.
my power off.
I can tell you.
I can let my power be off, but I
Rick
can
Ross
borrow
coming?
it to travel,
Rick Ross
to
coming?
go to concert.
What?
I can
I go
borrow
get
it.
a loan.
to flex.
Oh, you know how this thing go.
I got a-
bottles.
That That's what
That's
people.
a-
No, sir.
See, listen. See, Freeport. There was a time when Freeport had it like that. you
Yes,
see?
yes. I think that's
We
it.
had it like that. But
I think
I ain't
that's
tell
it.
you a lie. And that was why we were the envy. And,
yeah.
and the islands didn't really like us because, oh man, we had it.
Yeah,
We had
I
it, but-
remember when the bazaar had the
Oh,
Gucci
trust
store,
me.
the
Trust
this store,
I,
the
okay?
that store,
Everything.
and then on the weekend they got the clearance sale going on, 20% off on the gold, on
We
the
had it.
this, on the
We
that.
had it.
All the little nieces in
You
there
know
getting
that-
their earrings.
You
I
know
remember.
that-
I
See,
remember.
Listen.
I was around. I was around.
So we still in that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody ain't teach us to, hey, pull back, brother.
Yeah, hard times.
Economy still going down.
Yeah.
So we still out there living in that mindset to just rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
To look good before
Yeah.
we actually live good.
Right.
You know, so that in itself is high fantasy expectations.
Yeah.
Because they would owe. And man, like what they say, you can die owing somebody. You can owe somebody.
Always.
So and they live on a mindset. So I can owe somebody. So might as well
I might as well spend all the money before I die.
Exactly.
Let
Leave
them
somebody-
figure out how to bury me.
Exactly. And that's such a sad state that we living in,
Yeah.
right?
A man at the bar say, if they burn me, they burn me. I don't care.
That's
I
right. He's gone. He ain't gonna know that, right?
Yeah, I can tell them bury me, but if they burn me, how I gonna know?
That's right.
I gonna know.
That's right. So, expectations, fantasy or reality. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You asked and I delivered. Island-ish is back. The podcast you guys have known to love, to like to call in, to like to interact with. We are officially back. For the ones that don't know me, this is your girl Yams. Hearing me on Mix 102.1 FM or your favorite TGF_Yams. With the 2 S's, we're back with Island-ish right here on Superior Talk. So make sure you're following the page. We're going live this Thursday, 6 p.m. Don't miss it. Follow us. It's about to get lit.
And we're back talking about expectations. We started to go on to the agenda now, getting a little bit more specific on who's expecting what and is it based in reality or fantasy. And I think we came that we hitting the nail that a lot of us living in fantasy land,
Yeah,
la la
man.
land when we come to these expectations.
Definitely.
So we have a comment here from B Lord Beats, and he says, "But if you required a man to lead in that said narrative, traditional role of fully providing financially, he already has a greater task in the relationship in regards to greater pressure.
Okay.
Pressure. It depends,
mean-
because it depends on if they're both playing in their roles.
That's true, too.
Both roles of pressure. Now, if she asks him to provide and she isn't willing to support, then he under greater pressure.
I think a lot of men, and this is really the crazy part, like a lot of men feel like because they going on a job and they dealing with personalities and people and a boss they probably don't like, and probably on a job in a field that they don't even like, but they making good money and they stuck there because they have to provide for their wife and their kids and everybody back at home. They feel like, boy, that's pressure, boy. Like all these bills on my head. I can't pop off on this boss. I can't afford to. But then when you look at it as a wife, and as a woman in a house, I can't lose these kids. I can't let these kids go hungry. I can't say, man, I can go in the room and take a nap because ain't nobody else watching the children.
Right.
It's like, it's a different kind of pressure. Because I understand what he was saying in terms of like, you expect man to lead and expect man to handle everything financially. So that's a lot of pressure. It is. But even as a woman, it's a lot of pressure too. It's like, but think about it like this. Especially, I try to put it as basic in a man sense. 9 months, no rum. Number one. So
Rum
that's
ain't
no
nothing,
rum.
man.
So some man, that's a lot. Some man can't even go 2 weeks. So you gotta go 9 months because I decided to carry your baby. No rum.
Not our baby, your baby.
Our
His baby.
Let's say our baby, 9 months. Then after that, I gotta go probably couple of months, maybe another year, because now I breastfeeding. That's another thing. Breastfeeding. Now I have to raise this. I have to watch this. I have to take care of this. I have to feed you and this little person. Yes, you helping me. And in some cases, not all, because some men really do a lot when it comes to child rearing. Like they help with the cooking, they help with the staying up at night because they know you had the baby all day. Like they there.
Right.
Big ups to them. Big
Right.
ups to y'all. Like they there.
Right.
But when you looking at it as a woman on their mental and they there all day and their lifestyle have to completely change. Their body have to completely
Right.
change. Their hormones all over the place. And you have to balance all of that. And then balance the needs of this husband or boyfriend or whoever you still have, if you're even still in the picture.
Right.
And then you still have to grow and nurture this person who you don't want to raise into a serial killer.
Right.
So you have to really focus
Right.
on this little human.
Right.
So I don't want to say like any role is any greater, but I do understand what he says when it comes to, a lot of times when it comes to raising children, a lot of times it's a lot of focus on women when there should be some focus on men too.
Now, mind you, I'm thinking he's talking about the traditional roles, not
Yeah.
the role where the mothers left to fend for herself and the child.
Right, that's what I'm talking
So
about.
he's talking
where
about the
they're
traditional role.
involved.
So in the traditional role,
Mm-hmm.
the man is out there providing all of this. So the
Right.
mother only has to worry about the house.
But even
So that's
still,
what
that's
he-
a full 24/7
right, so-
job. Like
right.
babies and
Right.
their sleep cycles a little weird.
Right, I understand. So
Right.
so here comes the man, but he has to, because now he's taking on the external, right? The woman's dealing with the internal. The internal will not survive without the external. She's dealing with the inside of the home. He's making sure the home is there. He's making sure the lights on, the food is on, the protection, the security. If
Right.
she's sick, he have to go and make sure he has to cover the whole gambit. She has to
Right.
deal with internally. He will neglect him, put himself to the side, because he knows any wise man would make sure forego himself, because he knows the child. She's dealing with a young child. As that child grows, now the focus now has to come off the child, shared between the child and the husband.
And traditionally, no, I can cut you off right there. One reason
I
why.
cut you off.
Okay, go on. I
I
already
cut
know.
you
I
off.
have good points
I
in
see
my
that.
head, and I ready.
So
I'm writing them down.
Now, you said she has to deal with us mentally. He has to deal with the mental and the physical.
What is the physical and what is the mental when it comes to the man?
Listen, for the mere fact that we don't talk and express, where you think that issues come, those mental issues come from? Men are more suicidal. Statistically, men take their lives more than women do. Why? Because of the mental pressure we're under. We have nobody. We don't have that support system that women have to go and express themselves mentally. Because when the man starts to express himself, he's now viewed as weak. He's viewed as, bro, what you crying for? Man up. Because traditionally, men ain't supposed to cry. So now we have to act as robots. We have to forego our emotions. So the woman, she's now crying, oh, the baby need to eat, the baby's sick, the food, the light going off. He ain't got nobody to cry to. She got him to come cry to. Who he going to cry to? Bro, I got to go do what I got to do to make sure that woman get her stuff, get what she need. You watched the movie John Q? I think it was John Q.
I watched John Q.
When she said, when the baby was sick, the boy was sick, she said, tell her husband, look here, I don't care what you do, my bro. Get it done. What do you have to do? I mean, I don't endorse what he did, but the pressure he was under to make sure she don't have to get that pressure.
I
You
ready for
understand?
this.
So she don't have that pressure. See, she could have cried and forego him where he was going. Traditionally.
And I happy you said traditionally, and I'm very happy you said traditionally because this goes back to our topic, which is expectations.
Right.
Men are expecting to have that same kind of treatment that they got in 1980 up to 2001
Yes.
to be what's happening in 2024.
Yes.
And even right now in 2024, we look at men who are expressing themselves, expressing what they need, or saying like, boy, I have my breaking point, I need to talk to somebody, I need a psychiatrist, I need to da-da-da-da-da. We looking at them as, oh, they soft. When it's like, no.
They're weak.
No, you ain't soft. You ain't weak.
You smart.
There's a lot. You smart. Like you say, you smart. Because you would go to the hospital, like John Q, hold him up at gunpoint. I'd say, I'll shoot myself in my head and give my son my heart. Because you under so much pressure.
Right.
And I understand what you're saying, but right now in this day and age, there are so many avenues for men to have support, to have help, to have people to talk to. It may not be
In the Bahamas?
Let me finish. I was about to
Sorry,
get to that.
sorry. Go ahead.
I let you cut me off.
Go ahead.
Don't cut me off. It may not be out there in your face here in the Bahamas, which is unfortunately very, very sad. A lot of times when they advertise things like come, mental health, XYZ, come and talk about the things you need, come and these are these support groups and different organizations, even some of the fraternities and some of the lodges, they try to do mental health events and different things like that, like Rotaract, people to come and talk about the things they're going through. A lot of times it's only women who's showing up. That might be a cultural thing. That might be the expectation.
Right.
We are not expecting men to come out because we expect men to hold it all in. We're not creating safe spaces
for men. That's
for
correct.
men.
That's what I'm saying.
And
We've
one
been
thing-
programmed that way.
right, and one thing, because I even had to learn that as a woman, and thank God for my beautiful mother and my parents and my dad and my parents teach me in terms like when it comes to dating, the best way to create a good relationship and a good partnership is to create a safe space, especially for your male partner. For him to feel like, boy, if you need to cry, what am I able to do? Tell my friends you cry. I really about to go and be like, boy, this nigga was crying. What I can tell them that for? For what?
Because we've seen it happening, you know.
Yeah, but have you seen that from me?
No. Truth.
So, and
truth.
it's expectation.
Truth, right.
It goes back to that.
Yes.
It's like if that's happened to you in the past, and that's something like I've had to force on partners because I tell people all the time like, but I'm a different type of girl.
But you're an
Like,
exception.
and that's fine.
So that's why I say your generation.
And that's why like I have to teach her like, but don't put me in no box
Right.
with these other gals. I don't
Right.
dress like them. I don't talk like them. I don't move like them. And I ain't afraid to say that.
Right.
A lot of females are afraid to be like, boy, I ain't like these other females. If you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. If you're going through something, if your job making you mad, what we talk about in this room stays in this room, and that's it.
Right.
But you have to be secure and be able to be like, boy, for real, what you tell me ain't leaving this room.
And
I really can't tell nobody.
Right. So
And
so-
everybody ain't doing that.
Right. So that's why you
But that's
help and
something that is
support-
taught. And I
Right.
learned that, like I said, from my
So you're helping
parents.
to support my what I
Right.
said.
Right. I agree with
mental-
you. I wasn't combating what
Yeah,
you say
yeah.
because like that's true. Like a lot of times men go through so much different things and we don't create spaces for them to talk about it.
And I love when you said the men want the treatment from back in the day, and from
Right.
expect
Like
that-
yeah, like they expecting like oh like yeah, but that's how
but
how it always
but
been.
that's what women want, because they
No,
want
they
want
don't.
to listen.
They don't.
Listen.
They don't. And that's
So
what
you
like,
ju-
women-
you-
listen. I cutting you out. When we say cutting you out, it's because like at the beginning of it, before we took the commercial break, we talked about lying to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Women feel like that's what they want. You don't want that hard man, because if that man get too hard and punch you in your face,
Listen.
you can be like, boy, I don't want him to do that. But you ain't creating a room for him to be safe.
But listen-
And that's what he can do when you tripping him out about this baby. He ain't paying the bills. He get laid off
Yeah,
from the
yeah,
job.
yeah.
You on him. His mommy on him. The landlord on him. His boss on him. He ain't have no one to vent to. He can pop. And who he can pop on? The person he around 60% of the time, which is you.
Right. So what I'm going to say is this, right? Women expecting that treatment, that lady treatment.
From
And
a
they
man
ain't no
who built a
ladies,
stone.
but they
And
no,
that's
but
true
they ain't
too.
no ladies.
That's
They running these streets.
That's true too.
They can't on like fellas out here,
That's true.
and they want men to pay their bills, treat them like princesses. But
That's true too.
bro, where the princesses?
Oh,
They want-
see now you
they
shifting
want-
the topic. We were talking about something else.
No,
We wasn't
expectations.
talking
We
about
talking
that.
about expectations.
We wasn't
They
talking
say
about that.
Women ain't virgins like how they used to be, but then they want this man
Men-
to pay.
anyway, don't
Men
let me get
supposed to
into
be,
that.
but hold on.
Don't let me get
Listen,
into that.
They ain't what they used to be, but they still want that treatment. What they heard about their Grammy used to get. Daddy come home and put the money on the table.
Grammy wasn't
used to-
no virgin
No,
either.
Grammy
Like,
wasn't, but
let's-
she was in the streets bragging about it.
It ain't about being. Hold on. Just because it wasn't no internet don't mean like Grammy wasn't talking us
I
sip
say
sip.
bragging about
Ain't
it.
like Grammy wasn't talking us sip sip at home, girl. That's the
You
same
know what
thing
the
as
talk is.
bragging.
The man was getting away with it. They was doing it. It's time for women to do it now. Oh, y'all can't take her.
No,
woman
that
ain't-
is not the talk.
Girl,
The talk,
you
and I
can't
feel-
do what the guys do. No,
I feel like
and still
no,
be
when
a lady.
now we talking about dating, right?
No, we talking about expectations.
Yeah, expectations and now
And
the
dating,
subtopic
dating,
is dating.
yes,
Okay.
expectations.
I'll be honest with you. I keep it all the way a buck. When a woman is single, a lot of females, especially in this day and age, they do move like men. Mm-hmm. And the reason being is because it is showing that moving like a man is the most successful way to date. Am I lying?
I don't think so.
Am I lying? Okay, so
Tell me what
do
you mean,
men-
clarify.
Okay, let me clarify. When a woman commits herself 100% to one man, she have children with him, he round there running the streets doing what he want to do. Your Grammy, what? She get leave on her island. Your daddy dropping from this side. Letter from Miami. Got a letter from
Listen,
Miami.
Your daddy ain't your daddy, but your daddy don't know.
Right.
So Grammy was doing it too.
That's what I said in the beginning. So it's like it's about like we trying to act like these things are new. They're not new. These things have been going on for decades, for generations. Just that now it's more in the forefront.
Yes.
Women are being more honest
age of
about it.
information.
But it's not a matter like, oh, it never used to happen.
listen,
Grammy wasn't no.
It ain't honest, they're wearing it as a badge of honor.
And the reason
and
why.
And guys, see.
And I agree with you.
Guys
It ain't no
ain't want
badge
that,
of honor. It ain't no
Guys
badge
ain't
of
want
honor.
that.
It ain't no badge of honor. But it's also a matter of, it's like, boy, people are under the mindset of like, boy, I can just live in my truth.
Yeah.
I
Your
rather
truth,
not
I thought
hide
it was
these-
one truth.
I rather live in the truth of like, boy, this the way it is. This what I doing. If you don't like it, like you say, if you don't like it, that's okay.
That's okay.
Don't
but
deal with me.
understand, but
and if
hold
you
on.
don't want to deal with me, don't deal with me. But this what I doing.
But-
So you want me mad at women for being honest
No.
and putting it out there that, boy,
women
this
is be
what I
mad.
doing.
Listen, women is be mad when they say, "Oh, body count don't matter."
Oh,
right?
no, no, no,
Right,
no,
right,
no,
right.
no.
We living in that truth.
I agree
That's
with you.
what it's
I agree with you.
called.
I agree with you. Don't be mad if he say, "Oh, your body count." Like, listen, the body count matter to him because guess what? He ain't in the count.
Exactly.
That's
But
all.
no.
He just mad.
No.
He just mad.
Listen.
That he ain't at the top
Listen.
or whatever.
Listen.
Like he ain't in
Now
the
you
top
talking to a
five,
man
and
now.
that's okay.
You talking to a man now,
let me
and I
fin-
can tell you how
now,
man.
listen, let me finish.
I can
We
tell you how
getting
man
into
is
this.
think.
We can get into this.
Okay, go ahead.
We
Go
can
ahead.
get into this.
Go ahead.
Cause like really and truly, I've met men who cared about body counts, and I know men who don't. Some men who care about body counts, they just mad because your count higher than theirs. And if that's the case, like, bro, you upset.
No man, everybody he ain't want to know that. He know you, she know you, he know you, and then sometimes
I
she know you,
understand that,
she
so
know you.
I
Hold on,
feel
I gotta
like-
walk around with you on
I
my
understand.
arm and know
I
that
feel
you.
like more men,
you's a
more
company
men are
woman.
men are more afraid when it's like they know the man you've dealt with.
But
if these
nobody
are men that you
listen.
don't know, never will meet, don't know nothing about, will never bump into again, they don't care.
Listen to me.
Like you had your little phase
Me?
when you was in college in Miami or in Canada
Yeah,
or in the
yeah,
US,
yeah.
but you ain't deal with no dudes here in Freeport.
Listen,
they ain't care.
listen.
But if it's dudes in Freeport who they
Yams.
gotta bump into,
Yams.
or
Yams, you gotta give me a break to talk. You gotta give me a minute to talk.
That's when
You
they
gotta
can
give me
be
a minute
mad.
to talk, Yams.
That's
You're
when they
saying a
can be
lot.
mad.
No.
They ain't care if it's
Yams,
someone who go to
Yams,
slow mo.
Listen here, listen here,
I
listen
lie.
here, right?
Let me-
Yeah, listen, I'm a man. And I tell you, I don't think for all men, but I speak to men, and
Speak for yourself.
a lot of us have the same mindset. It matters. It matters. Now, it might not matter. It depends on how high that count is. It don't matter. But
Right.
when you so friendly, and we know about that, bro, what's special left for me? And it ain't that because I had it. Is it matters? No, you were too friendly.
So
you
that's- okay.
use yourself up.
So
you
it's
know?
not the same
And-
thing
and-
for
and-
men as well?
Huh? No, you gotta tell me if it's the same for men. See, I know, I don't want no man. I wanted women. So this, I'm telling you what men want from women.
and I
See,
feel like-
that body count, that shows worth, that shows you valued yourself. To us, to not spread yourself so thin. You valued yourself, to not just give yourself away so freely. So that's somebody we want. Wife. What? I had to fight for this? That one ain't been it. This one ain't been. Okay, I could. She got a little bit of. She working along that Proverbs 31 woman. She wasn't running the streets. You see. Now, if women don't put that standard on men, that's your business. But men put that standard on women.
I love that you said that because
ahead.
fathers don't put that standard
On their daughters?
men. Let me finish.
Oh, go ahead.
When certain men come and want to marry their daughters.
Oh yes,
They
we
only
do.
let me finish. They only care about the fact that you can provide for my daughter.
Oh,
You know?
no.
So you about to
No,
tell? Listen,
no.
I being honest with you. It's be a lot. I've never heard a father or hear a girl say, "Oh, my daddy say I can't date him because," or he's be around the street stealing with a bunch of kids.
Oh.
Or he's be around here being loose.
Listen.
Not in my day and
Listen
age.
to me.
It might be different.
Listen to me.
Different times,
Yams,
different
listen
era.
to me. All dads want their daughters to be princesses and ladies.
I have
all
never
dads,
heard
at least
a
all the
man
ones,
say,
all the ones who, actually the dad
divorcee
who
last
actually
wife.
stick around.
He
The dads who
divorcee
actually-
last wife, so I don't want him marrying you. He's a divorcee.
What?
He's a divorcee. You can't marry him.
No. See, that's deep because you don't know why they get divorced. Now, if she
ain't
run
know
in the
why
streets,
she loose.
listen. If she run in the streets,
You ain't know why
listen,
she
yeah,
loose. She
sometimes you
coulda
gotta
been-
listen.
Well,
You can't just talk.
Well, mother,
You gotta listen to
cutting
you know.
me off and I asking questions and trying to rebut. I being honest. Like we can't have the same rules for princess and not the same rules for the prince. And I grew up with this.
Oh,
'cause I have two
so
brothers.
that's what you want now.
I know,
So you don't
let
believe
me
in the double
finish.
standard.
I ain't
You know
talking
there's a
about-
double standard. So when it benefit the
know.
woman,
Let me finish.
when it
I
benefit
know-
with you, now you want to strike across the
I
board.
already know it's a double standard.
So why you want to change it?
So I ain't trying to change it.
It ain't gonna change.
I ain't saying it can change, but you bring it up.
I didn't. You just say you want.
You bring up this
Yeah.
double standard. All I saying is, I don't feel like the double standard should even matter. It shouldn't matter. Like who you like, be with who you want to be with. Who
so
they
when
want.
he says,
the problem is,
so
it's like,
when a
right,
man don't want to wife you because your body count too high,
And then that's fine.
no, it ain't fine. You know why she said it ain't fine?
fine.
No, it ain't
I
fine.
know, I
'cause
agree
know
with
why?
you, like, she shouldn't
say-
be upset.
Right, she shouldn't be upset.
Like,
Oh,
if
why?
he upset
Why
with
my
that-
count man? You should take that into
If he
consideration. See,
upset
listen,
with that,
Yams,
move on,
Yams,
baby. It's more
Yams,
efficient to see
you listen.
someone else
You are
saying
free to
goodbye.
do what you want to do, but you're not free from the consequences.
That's fine. And
So
that's
so
okay.
therefore so that's why this expectations.
talking about the same
the
thing.
expectations you fantasy land. You got 3 kids, 3 different baby daddies.
Okay, that's different.
Listen,
Kids
wait,
and body count is two
listen,
different things.
listen. I go and I just shift.
See,
Three
you
kids,
shifting.
3 kids, 3 different baby daddies.
I shifting.
And you're barely making ends meet.
Nah,
But
see,
yet
you
you want,
shifting.
hold on, yet you want this guy to come in there. He can't have no kids. He got to be 6 foot such and such. He got to be making X, Y dollars. He got to have his own house. He got to have his home.
Mm-hmm.
But yet you living this way. And he can't, the guy who almost on the same level as you, he got 2 kids out there too. He working, he little job and he can't come talk to you because he ain't this guy who you looking for. But you then down here, right? But you want this guy up here.
See, you talking about a different conversation. We was only talking about body count. Now,
No, I should
when
be
you
talking about
add-
expectations.
Yeah, now if you talking about all these different
done finished with
layers-
body count, 'cause
yeah,
I
that's
said-
not complete. That's unrealistic.
I finished with body count 'cause
You know
that's-
what-
well,
you
when
know
I
what-
say-
you
well,
know
once
what
I
paying
say,
Bentley
hey,
price for no used car.
Okay then.
Like no.
Okay,
that
so
ain't, that
I
ain't
didn't.
happening.
You know why I finish
So-
with the body count? For when I say you free to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah.
But you
So,
ain't
no.
free from the consequences.
Of
See,
course
when I had dreads on my head, right?
You had dreads.
Man, a couple of times.
Man, I want to see that
knew,
picture. Who had that picture?
I know.
Send that picture in the chat. I
I was
wanna see
about
that.
to be looked at a certain way. So when the police pull me over, because back in my day, anybody who had dreads, they getting pulled over.
Okay.
They searching your car because they think you got guns and stuff like that. When I get pulled over, I never used to get mad because I say, hey, this is what comes with the look.
Right. Okay.
So I understood that. Now you got some females out there who dress a certain way, right? So when the guys approach them in that manner, they mad. But they only mad because the guy who they put on that dress for ain't say that to them. But if a little local Joe Blow try to talk to them,
I like how you
because I
swinging this
think,
conversation.
listen,
And you was talking about one thing, and then
I
you
talking
ain't
about
even answer that
expectations.
one part and swing it
Hey,
all
hey,
the
I
way.
talking about expectations,
I
right? So I'm
know.
saying if you carry yourself a certain way, expect a certain way. You can't have a
True.
certain expectation.
But ladies, you can always rebrand yourself.
Oh, definitely.
Everybody
the
can
blood of
recreate
Jesus can
themselves.
wash away all the sins.
Yeah,
And he
understand
said
me.
he ain't hold nothing against you. He threw it in the sea of forgetfulness. So if I
And
want to
it's-
try hold and
it's
throw
how
it
much
against
billion
you,
people in this world, girl.
exactly. If I will hold it against you, then you say, Jason,
Be like me,
later for you.
import your man.
Jesus then forget.
I
that.
ship my man from
I
Canada.
I can forget you.
You import your things. You don't worry about these boys around here.
Yeah, because they ain't saying nothing. Same
I
thing
ain't
for the
say
girls.
that. They
Same
just
thing for the girls.
They just sit up in the barber
These
shop
little,
and gossip too much.
yeah, these
I don't
little
be into
fish
that.
mouths around here who ain't about
I
nothing. Who
don't-
just
I don't
want you
believe
buy
in- I
Remy
don't
and stuff
believe
like
in
that.
sip
And they ain't
man.
want to support them. Hey, ain't want to submit. Go find a woman who can submit.
Boy, Jason them is say anything. They say anything. They say anything to win the conversation.
Hey, I
You
learned it
can't
from the
round
best.
with them.
I
You
learned it
can't
from the
round with
best.
them. But your expectations ain't real. You gotta learn to be honest with yourself for
Yes.
real sometimes. Gotta learn to, but piggybacking and wrapping up on what you said, a lot of times it is unrealistic expectations. And it's really and truly just people lying to themselves.
Right.
Like, you know what you want, either don't want you, or what you want, you ain't ready to handle the responsibility and do the things that requires to keep what you want.
Amen.
And if you ain't ready to do that, then just be lazy and get what you get. I mean, that's okay too.
Yeah.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
Listen, you want a house, but you can't take care of an apartment. You
Yeah, you
ain't
can't- you
taking
can't
care of
afford
the
the
apartment.
mortgage.
Right. So living.
Pay
and
rent.
don't live in no truth. What they say? Your truth. Live in the truth.
Yeah.
Live in reality. Examine yourself, and base your expectations from where you at. It's okay to shoot higher, but keep that within range, man. We got to be real to ourselves and be real because we living in the
Agreed.
real world. The world owes you nothing.
Nothing.
Everything you want out there, you have to work for. You should work for. But so ain't nobody owe you nothing. All right. So keep that in your mind, and keep your your expectations within reality.
Don't have no champagne taste with bare money.
No, man.
I can
None.
end with that.
Yeah. So this has been Let's Talk. We're glad to have you here. Yams, thank you so much. It's been live. You filled in for Cheryl. I think you went above Cheryl.
No, I think so.
But-
Cheryl is said very nicely in this
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cheryl is actually let me talk. Cheryl is hearing me
Oh
out.
no, I ain't gonna let you
Yams,
say foolishness.
So,
No. I can stand up for the woman down.
This has been Let's Talk. Glad to have you. I hope to have you back next week. Same time, same place. Later, y'all.